when I started, my first goal was to make unicycle a global image, like for example in Nigeria. So when I met the International Federation, they were like, they never knew unicycle sports exist here in Nigeria. That the two things they know about Nigeria, one is crime and second one is poverty. That's what the media are showing to them. That, but here is a black man doing this kind of stuff. So they were so excited to support me then, because it's only South Africa that is well recognized on international level. So right now I think I'm taking it beyond unicycling thing. I'm trying to make it like a music brand, like a comedy brand, whereby there's no event in Nigeria or there's no big events in Lagos State that you will not need GKB. So it's now beyond unicycle. It's more of circus of different acts now.
We hope all your dreams come true.
Hesse Designs is a fashion accessory label that specializes in the design and creation of handcrafted bags and footwear. I knew I was going to do something in fashion. I didn't know what exactly it was going to be, but I knew I would be in fashion. If it's to be the cleaner in fashion, whatever, but I have to be in fashion. When we started off with just strictly bag making. But then you get people say, oh, can I get a matching shoe? And then over time, people say, oh, I would like to give my boyfriend a wallet, but I want it with Ankara or something. So over time, we had to listen to our customers and infuse their ideas into our brand. Okay, we wanted something with the African touch, with the Nigerian feel. We make leather bags. But if I'm making a leather bag and I put it in a store, if you don't know Hesse Designs is Nigerian, you probably think it's a foreign bag. So what's the point of promoting something that is not, if you look at, you can't link it to Africa, you can't link it to Nigeria. Wanted something to promote Africa, wanted something to promote Nigeria. We also want to empower our artisans here. So that's why we keep our content local, raw materials local, production local. We still get a lot of people from around the world ordering from our website. So I believe it's because of what we've built, the brand we've built over time that still speaks for us. In the last 3 years, we've done over 10,000 items. We've sold over 10,000 items to both corporate clients, retail clients, and wholesale clients.
A Joint National Congress worldwide has urged Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike to make peace with Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, and after months of debate and uproar, Edo State Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu declares for 2024 Edo governorship race. I am Bola Oba, and this is Plus Politics. A group, a Joint National Congress worldwide, has called on the immediate past governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, to make peace with the incumbent governor, Siminalayi Fubara, for the sake of peace and development of the state. The INC, which expressed displeasure about the political crisis in the state, particularly between Fubara and his predecessor, said it would always stand on the side of truth and good governance. Joining us live to discuss the political crisis in Rivers State is the national spokesperson, Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide, Comrade Bedford Berefa. Bedford, good having you on Plus Politics.
Thank you very much. I'm very grateful for this opportunity, to discuss on a very, very front burner issue in Rivers State and the Niger Delta.
Why are we making a fuss about Rivers State when the two major characters in the so-called furore have said there is no problem? The governor says he wants peace in the state. The Federal Capital Territory Minister says, okay, the president has spoken with him. So why are we having this form of agitation by bodies such as yours?
All right, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak on these very key issues. You know, what's happening in Rivers State is more like a everybody's saying there's no war, but the bush is burning, but we don't know where the former press briefing, you know, as regards the Rivers politics, where it categorically said they cannot and you know, that's a very, very enormous statement to make this. And if you see that, you know, very, very glaring that the Rivers State House of Assembly is still on the divide. And if there is, of course, an Ijaw man, the illustrious Ijaw son and brother and father in the person of the current governor of Rivers State, he's a man of peace, and he said, no, there's no problem. I did not send anybody to say, but of course we are seeing the handwriting, and an organization like us, you know, like us, we always, you know, speak truth to power, you know, but it's not necessarily because of Sim Fubara is an Ijaw man, that's why we're making this operation. No, that's not the issue. The issue is that Rivers State does not belong to one person, and if somebody is now emphasizing and re-emphasizing about political structure, I beg to wonder. He was governor of Rivers State at the time, and he did tremendously well. We appreciate his courage and his strength, you know, to speak through to power and to stand for what he believes in. Of course, he has bowed out of office, and today he has, you know, played a role. Of course, we cannot avoid that fact that he played a role in the emergence of the current governor of Rivers State. But of course, we know the political undertone and that the unseen rule that we see, you know, that is playing out. And the service of press conferences that the former governor has granted, it shows glaring that it is glaringly very obvious to say that he has some emotions. He has something that is not telling us, and that you know, that he's keeping to himself and himself alone. You know, for us, you know, that's why we have to state the fact that it is not an ethnic coloration. It is not Ijaw people that has spoken. It is the Rivers people that has expressed that displeasure. You know, if you say you are not part of the whole process, a sitting governor tear gas, a sitting governor poured water and even shot that, it cannot happen anywhere in the civilized places.
Hello.
Where it's coming from.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
We keep hearing that a sitting governor was shot at, but those who make those claims have forgotten that coincidentally, just about when the sitting governor got to the House of Assembly, a chamber of the House of Assembly also got burnt. Are we, on the one hand, remonstrating with those who did something that was untoward, allegedly shooting at the sitting governor, but we are conveniently forgetting that the property of everybody in Rivers State, because presumably somebody was afraid that his office was at risk, was burnt, literally burnt, to prevent him being either victimized through a legitimate constitutional process.
Now, my brother, sir, if you look at what happened there, you know, the governor is the chief security officer of the state. And if anything that is going wrong in the state, the chief security officer has a very foundational role to play to maintain peace. If he has heard that an arm of government, property is burnt, it is Rivers State property, and he is the manager of all the properties that belong to Rivers State. So if he has heard that something of such magnitude, of such nature has taken place, Of course, as the chief security officer, responsibility to go and also see how investigations can be carried out. Of course, that brings also the point of saying that, if illegality is taking place, not because they're about to sit and impeach him. Of course, we all know impeachment process does not take place in one day and is concluded in a day. You have to go through the legitimate processes, and of course, that is just the beginning of that process. But that is not the case.
But why? Fantastic, and I like your reasoning. I like your reasoning, Ananda. But why are people like you not speaking to the fact that whoever machinated the burning of that property should be unraveled? Why are we just hearing about the governor was shot at when ordinarily there was a deliberate effort to frustrate the process of a legitimate arm of government by the burning of the chamber?
Now we don't know what happened that the place got burnt. Of course, it is not our responsibility as council to now look for people that are burnt, who burnt what. It is the responsibility of security agency to carry out an independent investigation and see to it that the culprits of such actions are being brought to book. It is the exclusive responsibility of security agency to do so.
Okay. Hello?
Governor of a state, if you have heard that something of such might to reform the police sector. Can you hear me, sir? So that is also a factor. The unraveling of who burnt down that place is not as I think. They cannot categorically say that it was because they want to foil a process. Of course, this is politics, particularly politics in Nigeria. The person that is even trying to carry out that process can also be a party to burning the facility and allegedly putting it on the sitting governor to say, now I want to carry out the process, and this person that. So it's a two-way thing. It's a two-way to the coin. And so it's not necessarily that that action was carried out to foil the process. It could also be that it was carried out by same parties to legitimize their claim or their postulations. So it's a two-way thing, and it is the exclusive rights of the one problem BCB for police reform in the sense that
Hello? We may have to try audio alone because it's like your line is the bandwidth is getting a bit stressed. Maybe we just do audio alone. Can you hear me? You go on a short break.
Okay, I can hear you.
Okay then. Okay, go ahead and make your point.
And so it's a two-way thing. So we cannot say that the burning down of the structure was because seeing the sitting governor want to be impeached. We all know that impeachment process is not one day thing. So it's a two-way to the coin. That is why we are saying that an independent investigation should be carried out. We all know that the security agency is structured in a way that they collect they receive the last command from the center, and of course, in a government facility where the number one citizen of that state is domiciled. So of course, the two-way thing. One cannot now say categorically that was done, allegedly done to foil a process. Of course, we all know that the reason why they wanted to even impeach him is a baseless issue of misappropriation. If you understand, you cannot put something on nothing and it stands. So action is and we are really, interested in unraveling whosoever in burning down, or as the case may be. That is my opinion.
So, but when he was cultivating, similarly Fubara, when he was cultivating him to succeed him, the Ijaw Youth Council worldwide was not saying that he wasn't doing the right thing then, because it was obvious that that was a process that emasculated, vibrant democracy. We didn't get to hear the Ijaw Youth Council condemn that act then. Oh, because the beneficiary was going to be an Ijaw person.
No, my brother, he is a beneficiary of our benevolence as a people. We all know the history in Rivers State politics. He succeeded Amechi as governor. Amechi is an Ikwere man. It is an Ikwere man. We are not giving any ethnic coloration to it. It is certain to say that we are giving ethnic coloration. So if you look at 85% or 95% of the candidates for various parties were all Ijaw people, because it was time for the power to shift to the riverine, long overdue. Ikwere people stayed in that power for 16 years, and he in 2015 was a beneficiary of our collective preparedness and readiness to stand against the power at the center to defend the cause of democracy. That was what Rivers people did. Even in 2019, Rivers people stood by him and said, no, we cannot allow illegality to stand. So this is not the Ijaw Youth Council or the Ijaw nation backing Sim Fubara because it's an Ijaw man. No, it is an issue of Rivers State, or issue of democracy. And we know that democracy is rotational. That is why when he also stood and said, no, we cannot have second northern president after Buhari is dead. We cannot have another northern as attained power. And we all supported that initiative and followed suit. So, giving us Sim Fubara, yes, he did his contribution, but Rivers people stood and defended the cause of democracy for him in 2015, in 2019. And we also did the same for, Rivers people also did the same for Sim. Of course, we know one individual cannot make a governor, but of course, it was his preferred choice, reasons best. All the other political parties feature the Ijaw people as their candidate, because we know that integrity and democracy must be rotational. Everybody has to taste that seat. After 8 years, by the grace of God, another ethnic nationality will come.
Comrade Berefa.
So,
Comrade Berefa,
hello? I can hear you, sir.
The ostensible fact that could be gleaned from the scenario as it is now is that the Ijaw Youth Council worldwide seems to be crying more than the bereaved. The governor is suing for peace. The governor says there is no problem between him and his oga. And the Ijaw Youth Council is basically trying to give the impression that they are the defenders of the governor. Are you not crying more than the bereaved?
No, sir, that is not the case. If you listen to the INC, the umbrella body of the Ijaw nation, we are always suing for peace and say that this is an issue of political father and a political son. And all we want is peace. Is peace. We are not saying that we are not crying more than the bereaved. All we are saying that we want peace. Of course, the former governor, in his last press brief, he said he cannot stand ingrate. We are not raising any dust about that, because we are not the government. The entire Ijaw nation. Sim Fubara is not a governor to Ijaw nation. We want that peace. We don't want that political fracas, because Rivers State is very important in the Niger Delta politics, and we cannot at this time say that the Rivers State should have that chaotic divide. It will affect the process of democracy. It will affect development. It will affect, the peace and stability that Rivers State has enjoyed over the years. So the Ijaw Youth Council is saying that no, we are suing for peace. We are saying, let bygone be bygone. Whatever you want to, I want to, impeach, or I don't want to impeach. It should not be the scenario. We are saying that let peace.
Comrade Berefa, if you are suing for peace,
during the former governors, yes, sir.
If you are suing for peace, are there no better mechanisms or ways or strategies to go about it than the seeming impression that this multitude of interviews that some of your chieftains are giving, some of the Ijaw movement chieftains are giving, seem to be portraying as though, you know what, if you want to draw the line on the sand, you know us too. We are a warrior nation. That's the impression that some of us are getting.
Well, of course, you know that in every action there's counter reactions. But for us as Ijaw Youth Council, who is the umbrella body of all other, youth organizations in the Ijaw nation, what we are suing for is for peace. Because if battle line is drawn, everybody will be affected. It will not be selective. Those that we, be disturbed will not be selective. All we are saying, we are pleading with the former, we are telling him that, see, we supported you in 8 years during your tenure. The interview that the former governor gave was just about 3 days ago, when he was saying about ingrates and said a whole lot of things that he has said. That is not all we are saying, that allow peace to reign in Rivers State and let the governor.
Comrade Bedford Berefa.
Yes.
That is a good place to leave it, especially where you have accentuated the importance of peace and the need for the parties, the two major characters, to work in the direction of peace. Thank you very much. We really enjoyed having you on our show. We'll go on a short break now, and when we're back, the second segment of the show takes off.
This is it for upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Bookie November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's tea time on Plus TV Africa.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
The Governor of Edo State, Philip Shuaibu, has declared his readiness to contest for the state governorship election in 2024. Shuaibu made the declaration in a televised announcement on Monday morning. The Deputy Governor made a formal announcement to compete for the People's Democratic Party's ticket in the upcoming party primaries. Let's take a listen.
You did not just call me Mr. Constituency Project for nothing. In my time as a legislator, I delivered 49 constituency projects at the state level and 13 solid constituency projects within the short stint I had at the federal level. I fought the good fight for you, my people. Along the way, suffered humiliation, enjoyed many moments of victory, but I am thankful in all things. Have been bruised, but not crushed. Persecuted, but not abandoned. After all, I be original Edo son. 100% own boy. This is why today I stand before you with great conviction and resolve, as I declare my intention to run for the office of the Governor of Edo State under the platform of the People's Democratic Party in the upcoming 2024 election. And I am confident that with your support, we can take Edo State to even greater heights.
Joining us live is political analyst Biodun Showunmi. This is going to be more on audio due to some circumstances beyond our control. Mr. Biodun Showunmi, good to have you guest on Plus Politics. What is your summary of the deft political move made yesterday by the Deputy Governor of Edo State?
Is that me?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello, is that me?
I said, what is your take? What is your opinion of the move made yesterday by the Deputy Governor of Edo State?
Oh, yes. The politics going on in Edo State currently, centered on politics of perception. Both the governor, Obaseki, and Philip Shuaibu were very close allies who fought, the former godfather, Oshomole, to the extent that they became governor and deputy governor. Now it's time for a new regime, and we are now realizing that politics is now coming into it. According to Obaseki, the issue is about Edo Central producing a candidate. As far as I'm concerned, Edo Central has not had a full slot. But according to Shuaibu, every senatorial district have had a slot. They've been elected. The difference is that in the case of Edo Central, Professor Kiba was elected, but he barely voted up. So therefore, the argument of Obaseki that Edo Central has not had a full slot, or that Edo Central has not had a completed 4 years. Whereas Shuaibu is saying that every senatorial district they've had their own share, and therefore they've been elected, and therefore is competent, and he should be allowed to contest the elected. Now, what we have currently on our hand is the possibility of a primary taking place with the governor having his way, and then the deputy governor either going to another party or undermining his own party within the party, because Shuaibu is a very strong politician in Edo North, and he's seen as although he's a young man, he's seen as a very strong political warlord in a way that he could either meet or mar the fortunes of PDP in Edo State. The most likely thing is that if they fail to impeach him, the most likely thing is that once a candidate emerge, which is of the governor's liking, they will have to start a new discussion with him. Otherwise, he may choose not to cooperate with the PDP or leave the party to the advantage of APC or Labour Party in that state. That is the state of things currently. And if you see how complicated it is, then there's something hidden from us all. He's absolutely very confident and sure of himself that either he's allowed to contest that election and that he will defeat the Obaseki candidate or else what would happen next is what we all don't know. Well, it's more likely that he will end up teaming up with his former political godfather, which is Adam Oshiomhole. If he does that, that would be bad news, for Obaseki, Obaseki and his possible candidate.
The look of things now, I'm thinking that he may have just run himself into a cul-de-sac of a sort yesterday. And why am I saying that? It's going to be technically difficult for him now to move to another party. And the sitting governor of any state may not be able to anoint his successor, but he is adequately equipped as the governor of the state to frustrate the ambition of anybody who particularly wants to run from his party. So, in so much as the move that Shuaibu made yesterday was strategically important, it may also be the final opening of the cage that may be used to frustrate his political maneuverings. What do you think about that?
Yes, it's very logical because PDP is already in trouble after presidential elections because the Labour Party moved many of their supporters from PDP rather than the APC, and then we saw the outcome that the government was so furious, when the voting was going on, that he had to move around and he was alleged to have obstructed some polling units in the city itself. Now, what it clearly says is that the PDP already is in trouble with the whole showing of Labour Party, and the APC seems to be in charge. And getting momentum due to the fact that they have the presidency in their city. Now, with Shuaibu's declaration yesterday, what it clearly shows is that the PDP is not only in a hole, they are now digging the hole further. Rather than coming out, they are digging further to get sunk in that hole. That is the obvious thing. And the only thing that can happen is that the APC will be the one to gain from it. Labour, the suspected members of PDP, more of them again will move either to Labour Party or to APC. And that could mean a death knell of the ambition of the proposed or possible PDP gubernatorial candidate. I don't think it is something good at all for PDP. This wrangling is really bad for them. It's something they have to put their mouth in order, or else it could cause a challenge.
Biodu, don't you think that you are a bit too analytically generous to the APC? And why am I saying that? That you seem to be a bit too analytically generous to the APC is because the Labour Party won the presidential ballot that was cast last in February of this year. The Labour Party now has a candidate that every time that guy has been underestimated, he has always shown the establishment people that they've priced him low. I remember when the front runner for the Labour Party now was trying to contest for the to be the president of the NBA. A number of senior advocates of Nigeria ran against him, and he was treated like he was just one vaultingly ambitious character who was going nowhere fast, and he ultimately defeated them. I'm looking at some of the traction he seems to be garnering now. The two major parties in Edo State may get the licking on this occasion if they underestimate the guy and the Labour Party. So I'm just thinking aloud. How would you respond to that?
I don't really think they will underestimate the Labour Party. Labour had a good role in the presidential election in Edo State. Why? So they are likely going to take Labour more seriously than before. Don't forget that the bulk of the voters for Labour Party themselves came from within the PDP. It does not mean that some youths or some other supporters of APC, did not team up to Labour Party. But what has happened since the last election, particularly the presidential election, is you have three factors at work. The first one is the incidency factor of the governor, which is still an advantage for PDP, because he's still able to dispense larger seats. The second factor is the APC presidential factor, which is also very strong, because APC at the federal level is able to dispense larger seats to the advantage of APC in Edo State. And the third factor is the frustration experienced by many Labour supporters who felt that the inability of their candidates to be declared or to be the president, has caused a level or a measure of frustration that many of those youths who were eager to have Obi as their president are frustrated, and many of them may not necessarily participate in voting as they did in the presidential election. Obi was a factor. He was a pull factor for the Labour Party, not Apata. He was a pull factor. So because of that, we may experience a situation where there is a decrease in the number of Labour supporters voting in that election, and that would be to the advantage of APC to a large extent, and to a lesser extent, the advantage of PDP. I see Labour Party coming down. I don't see Apata, winning that election simply because the Obi factor is no longer there. You only need to go back to these last 3 states that we had the election. Go to Bayelsa, go to Kogi, and see what happens. Obi factor is no longer there.
As Obi left the Labour Party, Obi is still the titular head of Labour Party, and is still the iconic politico in Labour Party, and he will naturally go out there to go and campaign for the gubernatorial candidate of the Labour Party. I'm not even saying that it's automatic that character may emerge as the candidate of the Labour Party, but Obi, Edo State, seems to be one of the states where the Obi factor properly matched with a good candidate can give traction to the gubernatorial aspiration, the gubernatorial hope of the Labour Party, as it did in Abia, where the Obi factor matched with the character of the person who eventually won, were two complementary political forces that railroaded everybody in the two main political parties to defeat. That's the point I'm trying to make here. I'm not saying that is gospel, but I'm just thinking that you may be a bit too generous in your analysis to the APC, more so when we don't even know who the APC is going to be producing as the governorship candidate. How would you respond to that as your closing remark?
Yes. Maybe, if we don't know the candidate of whoever will emerge currently, we know there are some big wigs, particularly Professor Okunbo, who was a former governor for 6 months. You have other people like Dr. Sylvester Obiona, who is an academic also in the race, but we don't know who will emerge or whether it will be done to Edo Central or not. But the fact of the matter thing remains that we need to look at the structure of the Labour Party itself in order to comprehend my own position. The Labour Party has two persons constituting its membership. The first one is the core Labour Party made up of workers and other people who are interested in Labour Party originally. And then you have the second section, which is the obedient movement. The movement is talking about obedience and nothing else. And the movement orientation is to work national politics to grab power and see whether they can change the situation in line with their own vision of what Nigeria should be. Now, that obedient movement, which controls largely the youth, that right de facto has been frustrated, and quite often, like what we have experienced in the 3 last elections, which we got a global election, is that many of them failed to come out, in the number that they came out during the presidential election to vote. So if that pattern continues and repeats itself in Edo, then we're not going to have a reduced voters, for Labour Party, largely made up of the obedient movement, because it's a movement built around Obi, and Obi is not a factor in the room. Whether Obi comes to campaign or not, the motivation is about Obi and about presidency. So, maybe to some extent you may be right, maybe I've been a bit generous politically, but I don't see it that way. The way I see it is that APC is able to rebuild its own structure, given the disaffection within the PDP and its ability to defend legacy at the federal level, to key, key political leaders in the state. So because of that, I tend to be more optimistic that there is a likelihood that APC will do better, than PDP. A divided PDP is not good for the election.
I was going to end with the last question, but I think it's imperative or important that I put this in. How would you respond to the fact that Shuaibu's campaign strategy at this juncture is more at accentuating or emphasizing the fact that he is the homeboy, that he is bona fide Edo man, and I'd never lived outside Edo practically, and that nobody is bringing him in from the Edo diaspora, say in Lagos, to come and run roughshod over the local players. How would you respond to that strategy?
Yes, the strategy is very clear. We all know that Obama keeps thinking of someone from Lagos who he would prefer to be the candidate for PDP. Of course, he wants to be the new governor. He wants to deliver the baby. Like many of the governors have been trying to do, wanting to continue their state after they've left office. Whether they work or not is another matter. But Shuaibu realized that there's a soft, underbelly there. That look, you need to kick that underbelly. Let people understand that.
Biodun, the Yorubas will say, Oruko Lampo Balade, may I have the honor of signing you off. Biodun Showumi, thank you very much for your contributions. We have to wrap it up at this point. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Today's throwback. How Going down the road led to the renaming of a stream, Ododandaru, in colonial Ibadan. History is replete with the corruption of words and phrases at the confluences of civilizations. I remember as a voraciously reading youngster in Odiolowo Mushin at the twilight of the 70s and the dawn of the 80s, how I learned through an economics magazine article how the title Caesar, which originated from Julius Caesar's name and fame, and now it was mangled over civilizations to Tsar in Russia, even colloquially elasticated and gendered to Tsarina, Shah in Persia, that is today's Iran, Tsar, and much more across the different regions of the world. Folklore has it that a white colonial officer once lived on the highest point or hill in Ibadan, popularly known as Bowers Tower or Laipo, because of the spiral staircase carved on the hill to get to its top or zenith. He reportedly had an aged Ijesha gateman who he often told whenever he would want to take a stroll down the hill that he was going down the road. On one occasion, the white man had a visitor while he was out strolling down the road or lounging by the Agodi Garden stream. The elderly gateman was reported to have told the visitor, Ebo Sinle Olo Dandaru. The white man is not at home, he's gone down the road, meaning down the road. Ibadan is littered with such mispronounced words as names of precincts, Oke Shapati, Shepherd's Hill, and Kudeti. This place, quote unquote, according to a report of how Reverend Indira, who started St. David's Kudeti, was quoted to have said that the neighborhood given to him to start the church, quote unquote, is too dirty. Kudeti. That's the show for tonight. I am Bola Oba.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
The suspect equally confessed.
A 500 naira they collect am. If you no talk, dem go beat you. Na 2,500 they pay.
My name is Prince Olasheni Kosoko, and here is my good old days story. I was born at the Lagos Island maternity into a family of royals. My father, from the Kosoko royal chieftaincy family, is a fourth generation of the direct descendant of King Kosoko, who reigned as Oba of Lagos between 1845 and 1851. While my mother was from the Eletui Washe chieftaincy family, both of them of blessed memories. I come from a middle-class family, with my father starting off as a school teacher and ending up as a quantity surveyor, while my mother worked as a secretary/receptionist for a multinational company in Lagos. Even though I come from a Muslim home, I started my early schooling at the Holy Cross Catholic School at Oil Mill Street, Lagos Island. At the instance and insistence of Mrs. Ayodele, aka Mama Teacher, against my father's preference for a Muslim school, I had the opportunity to mix with my schoolmates as I had to walk the about 3 kilometers distance from my school in Oil Mill Street through Bangboshe Street, with distractions along the way, especially at Iteku Cemetery, where we plug falling fruits, play pranks, and those who had issue to sort with themselves will slug it out physically there. Then all the way to Massey Street, where Mama Teacher served and had an after-school lessons for us. This is where I will have my lunch and siesta until my mom comes to pick me up for home after closing from work. By the way, the Iteku Cemetery, located on Igbo Shere Road, Joseph Street, is where great sons of Lagos like Abad Macaulay, Ajayi Crowther, etc. were buried. Their remains were later removed from there, and the cemetery later gave way to a sports center. We lived at Evans Street, Lagos Island, opposite the Eti Chieftaincy Family Palace in the 60s and until the early 70s, when we moved to the middle-class Surulere neighborhood, where I lived most of my formative years. Those were days when the Lagos Municipal Transport Service, otherwise known as LMTS buses number 28, conveyed us from the popular CMS bus stop to the end of Adelabu Street, where we resided. Bus number 27 takes you to Ogunlano Drive, and my stop was Alhaji Masha bus stop. My sojourn in life took me to Comprehensive High School, Ayetoro in Ogun State, where I was privileged to meet other students from diverse backgrounds, including foreigners. It was a very interesting period, having to leave Lagos on my own for the first time. We boarded vehicles flying Lagos to Abeokuta, from where we connect the buses that take us to Ayetoro. It was always very amusing when you read such inscriptions like, "One with God, no hurry in life, Wale ki ojoko Oluwa omo ero okan, Jisoro pawo, etc., etc. on those buses. The most amazing way to feel your arrival in Abeokuta is the loud music of Ayinla Omowura, the Akpala legend that rents the air through the length and breadth of the motor park at Lafenwa, and indeed any motor park in Abeokuta. My holidays were very exciting and something to long for, because I would spend part of it with my paternal grandmother at Isaleko, where she plied a trade in the sale of fried fish and shrimps. Staying with her offered me all opportunity to explore the wider Lagos Lagoon at Ebute-Ero and environs, including the Iga-Idunganran Palace, where the late Oba Adeyinka Oyekon II threw the gates of the palace open to all and sundry. I recall with nostalgic feelings how we as children go to play with our neighborhood friends, tire out after play, have dinner, and rest our heads in our neighbors' houses without any fear of abuse or molestation. My extended family, even though was largely dominated by Muslims, comprises of Christians and traditionalists. We all partook in all the celebrations to festivals like Eid al-Maulud, Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Kabir, Ileya, Christmas, Easter, Eyo Masquerade, Egungun, Gelede, Efe, and Fanti festivals. What with the visits to the sandy beaches in Lagos, to the beaches of Badagry, where we also had the opportunities to visit the first story building in Nigeria, as well as the relics of slave trade in Nigeria and the point of no return, where the ships who took slaves away depart from. How can I forget my first trip to the United Kingdom in 1980 via Nigerian Airways, when my return ticket was bought at the cost of 297 naira, and full BTA of 1,000 naira got me 780 pounds sterling, and no visa was required for such trip. Life was so good that my Lagos State bursary of 500 naira per session was more than enough to form a big boy. Remarkably, a close friend and I combined equal contributions of 300 naira each and bought a Volkswagen Igala for 600 naira in 1980, a car we jointly owned and drove around Lagos. Did we paint Lagos red? The rest is left for your imagination. So much to learn from the strong communal bonds of those days. A lot to digest about religious tolerance in those days. So, Where did we get it wrong? Will our children believe us when we say we had so much fun in those days? I wonder how fast we have lost our moral and to a large extent cultural values. For me, it is not a hopeless situation. All lads should therefore be on deck to continue to inculcate those time-tested values in our children for a better society. We can change the narrative. Our children must now be made to embrace the time-honored value of integrity, honesty, and respect for the dignity of others. Our challenge will now be to focus on how we can, instead of talking about the good old days, be projecting into a future that is greater than our past. Our children certainly deserve a brighter and better tomorrow, not the good old days. I therefore join others in joining Sir Shemo Orebadejo in this collective drive towards a greater tomorrow. Thank you.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Buki November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's tea time on Plus TV Africa.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
Hello and welcome to What Are You Saying? #Ways, where we talk about topics in the news as it affects us all. I am Chinelo, and I know your delectable host. And of course, in the studio with me this evening, our ladies' night, I have Diola and Mary. And it's a blue affair, apparently. Wow. I didn't even know that.
Blue Tuesday.
I know, right? Tuesday blues. Hi, ladies. How you doing? Diola, how are you? How's your day?
It was good, thank you.
I haven't been on the show Mary in a while. So yeah. Oh, yes. Were we together on Friday? Oh, true. We were together on Friday. That's true. That with Omolola. You're right. Yeah. You're right. You're right. Yeah. Hi, Mary. How are you? Oh, please.
I'm okay. I'm just really tired. But yeah, we're pushing through.
Yeah. The year is almost ending.
I can't wait.
I know, right?
Can
it's like everybody has shut down.
What?
Why?
No,
please.
No. We
I want to
celebrate
December and January, actually. Anyway, here's what we found as today's codes. If you must travel this season, travel light. For people that don't know, they are going for 2 days and they will pack 7 years load. This is for you. If you must travel this season, travel light. Jenna, when you travel, do you travel light? That's a no. Don't worry.
No.
Mary, when you travel, do you travel light?
Hell no.
No.
I always have overweight.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, I must applaud myself then.
You
because I literally, do you know what I do? If I'm going for maybe a weekend or something, I literally write out what it is. I make the notes and I'm like, okay, so Monday or rather Friday, this and is what I was wearing, my shoes, Saturday. So I never carry what I should not.
So you don't have just in case?
Yeah.
There's usually just in case, maybe one or two. But
so my
just skincare alone.
My skincare kit alone. It was as if I moved my whole house with me inside the box. It was so embarrassing.
That's why you should get like those travel.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know
I got the travel cube.
We're going to.
It was the travel cube that was still heavy, so I had to put it in my friend's box because my load was too much.
Your load was already too much. The festive season is gradually upon us, and this period in Nigeria is predominantly known for celebration and travel. A video we saw earlier today brought our attention to the state of insecurity on our roads and important safety measures to take note of. It's our ladies' night out, and Diola, Mary, and I are here to discuss the topic: travel and safety measures for this festive season. And when we open our phone lines, we'd love to hear what you have to say. But first, let's take a break to have the news. Your St. Indian principle of non-violence applied to all living beings. Compassion. It's very important to show compassion because I don't know how people even go by the day without, learning. I know today is also World Giving Day or something like that, right? And these days go hand in hand because what's compassion without actually being able to give? Sometimes it's not even about how much it says you have to give, but showing that concern, that, I love you, I see what you're going through, being empathetic and, all of that. Mary looks like she has something to say.
I think of recent I've just been too burnt out to give. Yeah, so I'm just like...
And that's fine. Yeah, that's okay.
In my own space.
Yeah, of course, there's sometimes that you're like, see, right now, I beg, just... Before, when I come out of my junction, they're usually like this children that would hang around, and I used to feel so led to want to, but nowadays I'm just like, please. And in my heart I'm like, I'm not being, but when I say just go away, just go, just leave me alone. I think what also upsets me is the fact that I feel like they collect that money and they go to give it to, so it's some form of business for them, and I'm like, hey, I'm not stupid now, don't do that. I see you and I see that you're a child, and I really feel that compassion towards you and that empathy, and I'm like, this child should probably be in school or something. Because guess what? You would offer those children education and whatnot, and they'll They would rather beg on the streets. So that goes to show that, you know, whatever it is that they're getting. But I think outside of that, this also covers like your domestic staff, people that work for you in your office. They're doing something very interesting in my office, Secret Santa. And I'm very excited.
It's your first time experiencing it?
No, actually, I have experienced Secret Santa before, but in this office, I think because I know that they have money. So
I'm just never interested. I don't know.
Mary,
I feel like a downcast.
No, I actually want to hear you.
I'm just not interested in the Secret Santa thing. They've done it once in my office, and I was just so.
You were disappointed.
But eventually, I think I got a good gift for whoever it was. But then, I mean, I think mine was like this, like it's not like it was a junior staff, but it was cute and the effort put into it. But
Mary, it takes a lot to impress you.
I think so.
It takes a whole lot. I can tell that it takes a whole lot to impress you. It is well. But then, what did you find for us in the news?
Okay, sadly, he says 4 friends crashed to death while waiting for a towing van in Abuja. Someone's car broke down around Lokogoma yesterday. He called his friends to come and assist. On getting there, while waiting for a towing van, another car ran into 4 of them, killing them all. It's really sad. Like, would we say, were they destined to die now? Like, as in, no, because I mean, the friends that came to, you know, help out, they like, it's just sad.
Things like that.
Really.
That's part of what we want to talk about today, actually. I mean, sometimes these things are out of our control. It just happens because it has to happen. So even if they were not going to, you know, go to help out, it could have happened any other way. Right?
Okay, so I think this is also part of what we're going to talk about today. EFCC warns Nigerians against ATM card swap fraud. Now, this is usually, you know, when we go to POS terminals, we go to bank ATMs, and then sometimes we're in a hurry, or sometimes, you know, we're distracted, you know, you just give your card, and then so there's been a lot of cases that has been reported to EFCC. So it's more like a security breach where they give you another card. That has actually happened to me.
They give another card back to you?
Yeah. And you won't.
But they would have looked at you taking your pin, putting in your pin.
Exactly. They would have, so it would just go like, they clone your card. Of course, the card that they've taken, they already know the password. So give me back my card. They gave me together with the merchant's copy. And then I didn't even check. I just put it in my card wallet. And then I got home. I don't know what I was looking at. And then, what is this? Like, honestly, and then I went back there. Luckily for me, it was within my neighborhood. And I went back there, and then they were trying to be funny. Oh, madam, no this, no that. So somebody was shopping and also said this same thing, that they're running a racket there. You know that? Yeah. So since that time, I just stopped going there.
So you never got your card back?
Oh, but of course. But of course.
Don't be whining me.
But of course. No. In fact, that day I said to myself, I'm going to find myself on Instablog. I don't care. Like, I really, really do not care, because I was so livid, and I think it was because they were trying to be. I knew
they were trying to play a smart one.
Yeah, I knew I came straight from my house to that place. I didn't go anywhere else.
If not, you would have been very confused.
Yeah, I would have been so confused. Oh, where did I go? Where did I, you know? So now, if you see me go shopping, so what I did after that time was I got an utility card.
Yeah.
So if I want to go out, I want to do shopping, I just transfer them. Exactly. So I don't use my card like my.
That's the way to go, actually. Just get a utility card. Yeah. God help us. Okay, my story is funny, but it's not funny. Passengers recount ordeal as Lagos Abuja bound flight lands in Asaba Delta. See, I cannot imagine. Anyway, some passengers who boarded a plane from the Murtala Mohammed Airport in Ikeja, Lagos, have recounted their ordeals after the plane, which was meant to carry the passengers to Abuja, landed at the Asaba Airport in Delta State. The incident happened on Sunday and threw many passengers into confusion, as some of them said upon landing at the Asaba Airport, the crew still announced to them that they had arrived at Abuja. So one of the passengers, who gave her name as Thelma, said she thought she was dreaming, and she had to take pictures of the airport like, am I sleeping? What am I seeing here? I'm seeing the Asaba Airport and you're telling me that we've landed in Abuja. And I'm like, this just goes to show the amount of carelessness.
Yeah, that's very careless.
Very, very careless.
So is that on the part of the pilot or on the part of the
pilot?
Yeah, because they must have given him a flight plan.
On the part of the pilot, on the part of the airline. And you know, traveling by air is not like traveling by road.
Yeah.
Because if you say you are going to Agungi and they're taking you to Yanoworo, you can tell. You will know, you can see it's not from
clouds.
You must be looking out the windows.
No, the crowd here is the one that
I saw one comment and the person was like, but we couldn't be shouting, oh wow.
I mean, I think it must have been a mistake from like the control.
From the control.
But then like I have a friend who was really defending that. Oh, don't you know the routes and everything?
No, I think it's very navigational. You know, they just.
Oh God. I have many questions to ask because first of all, so it means that the pilot himself did not know where he was supposed to be going to. He thought he was.
Are you saying
going
they
to
know
Asaba.
the routes the way we know?
No, not the route as far as the roads. Of course, you can't tell your way through the clouds now. I'm saying that you're flying over certain places.
Yeah.
So you fly over Ibadan, you fly over Benin. You know where you're going. So you cannot be going to Abuja and then you know where you're flying over and it's not making sense to you.
Maybe the pilot is not.
And there was nothing he could. Maybe he just had to land in Asaba.
Yeah, and then maybe.
And he got to us and said, "Welcome to Abuja." Did you get the story? The crew literally said, we have now landed the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. That's why the woman was like, but I'm seeing Asaba. So how is it that you're saying welcome to Abuja? So this is one of the travel and safety measures for this year. See, make sure that they are not taking you to the wrong airports. You go and say you're going to Port Harcourt, they will take you to Owerri. Go and learn the names of all the airports. So that when you see Sam Bakwe, you know that you are not at Nnamdi Azikiwe. A word is enough for the words. This festive period often comes with increased social gatherings, travel, and celebrations, which can inadvertently lead to heightened safety concerns from personal safety to property protection. As we approach December, staying safe is essential to ensuring a joyous and worry-free holiday. So tonight, we're asking, what are the travel and safety measures to take note of during the festive season? Please let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. See, I don't even... Okay, you know what? Let me ask you, Jola, first. What are some of the safety measures that we should be taking?
Okay, so I don't think this is the time you want to go anywhere without letting your loved ones know, like being accountable. Just let someone know where you are going. I think it's very important. I also think that one needs to be mindful of where one goes to, especially at this time. I sometimes say that don't stay out too late, but nightlife in Lagos, especially this season, is unavoidable. But you know, but I'm always saying also that really, I mean, alcohol and driving, not at this time. It's just know your limits, and then once you are buzzing, just, you know, don't drive. Or make sure you have someone with you. It's very important, you know. And then the third thing I would say is don't be loudmouth, you know. Don't go anywhere in the midst of people just mouthing off, you know, this deal, that deal, and all that. Because again, in gatherings like this, you never can tell who is who. And this is about the time people are quite lax, you know, with security. Different people come and visit you, so you throw parties at your home, and then you just don't know who is who, you know. So yeah. So
Maybe before I come to you, I want us to take a short break because there's a video that we're going to see before we continue the conversation. Let's take a short break and see you shortly. If you're just tuned in to our ladies' night out and we're discussing travel and safety measures for the festive season, please let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 08180384663. Yeah, we're also talking about travel and safety measures. There was that video that we saw about the man who was talking about how you should save your money.
Yes, sir.
If not, you are going to use your money to bail yourself. No, that thing is funny, but it's not funny. And it's very real. I was having a conversation with my uncle 2 days ago, and I know that usually he would always travel. I mean, even if he would maybe put his family members on a flight and tell them to go, and then he would drive. And he's like, he can't try it anymore because of the insecurity. And he was telling me a story about how his friend had traveled, and it was even policemen that literally relayed his friend on the way, and how they collected money from him, stripped him of every valuable that he had, and the guy couldn't do anything about it, and then told him to go.
What will he do? These guys are trigger happy. Have you seen them when you're traveling out of Lagos? There was one time a friend of mine was having a wedding, so I'd never been to the East, so I said, okay, you know what, I'm going to go, since we're all, I mean, these are grown-ups and all that, so we went in a convoy. So it wasn't a case of young people trying to have fun on the road. You know, these were grown people, and people with their families in the car and all that. So we set off. Oh my goodness. You almost felt like between Lagos, maybe Benin or a road. I'm really not too familiar with these roads, but we're going to Enugu or thereabouts, you know. The amount of policemen on the road. And then we got to this particular checkpoint, and the guys there were... I said, in my life, I don't care who you are, I can never, it is not possible.
So they're like, I'm going to get married.
My darling.
Wow.
If it is not in Lagos, and if I can't fly there, I'm sorry, I cannot come. I was shaking because I thought they were going to shoot at us over an argument of this is how much, you know, and it is scary. And you see that video, I'm sure sometime before we, you know, finish the show, they would find it and all that. It was a case of bring your phone. So you see all these transactions that you keep on your phone. It's so risky. And me, I always, like me, I don't take SMS notification.
Oh, really?
I had to go to my bank, stop this rubbish. I don't want it. Again, because you hear all these things, and then you in fact, one can't just be too careful in this country.
Sure.
That's just it. That's just it.
Mary, let me come to you.
On safety measures.
Yeah. Stay in your house,
That's what Mary said.
Sit down in your house. Don't go anywhere. Where are you going? Where are you going? Sit down at home and pray. Pray that you are going to enter the new year in good health. So sit down at home.
Mary, practice what you preach.
I'm going to be home.
Okay.
I'm going to be working. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Even while working, driving to work, coming back from work.
It's just 5 minutes away.
Okay.
We just can't get you.
It's a closed network.
Okay, so you're saying other people should just sit at home and
helicopter to the mainland to see my mom.
You're just a joker, honestly. That's just what you are.
Okay, so when you fly the helicopter to the mainland, is it going to be
directly
in the house?
She has the
My
helipad.
house is close to the airport now.
But you still have to drive.
Ajawa Estate.
Oh, but you will still have to drive.
It's close now. It's like 5 minutes from the helipad to the house. It's close
Mary.
to proximity. But prayer first and sit down at home. That's my advice. Prayer. Just pray.
Jokes apart, guys.
Yeah.
I think that
and always have cash.
Well,
yeah.
Actually, that's very important. That's very important.
Yeah. And a small balasa phone. Because they can beat you if you don't have phone to give them. Yes. So just have one small balasa phone that you know that I
Do they still sell balasa phone?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
they do.
So if I wanted to buy now, where would I buy it?
You go to
just
Sakati.
Yeah. Go to Sakati.
That's fine. Is there no online service for
Mary, please?
I can't go to Sakati now for
Sakati is just there here now.
No, I need premium service. Can somebody bring it to me? If there's any online place, I can order it.
As I was saying,
slots. Go to slots.
Travel and safety measures to practice in this season, like Jola has rightly said. You know, be very careful. If you know that you need to get on a trip, as much as possible, fly. Although now, even if flying, they can carry you to a wrong place. But still it's better to fly. And even if you're going to fly, start buying your tickets, because I know that in December it really goes cray, and at some point you might not even be able to find a flight. So start planning your travel as soon as possible. If you have to go by road, maybe set out as early as possible. And I won't even advise people to even do those trips now because of the insecurity, because of what's it called, even the cost of fuel now is a whole lot. So I can't imagine what traveling in December is going to be like for those transport companies. It's going to be a whole lot expensive. I'm not saying sit at home.
No.
So even when you are in Lagos, you can still go out.
I'm trying to tell you that,
Mary, please.
My point is actually valid when I say sit at home. Spend some family time.
Yeah, very, very. That's
and if you don't have family,
idea.
spend some solitude, alone time.
Yeah. If you're going to go out as well, if it's necessary for you to go out, especially if you're going to go out at night, please be careful when you're drinking. Don't overshoot your limits. Especially if you're going to drive. In fact, don't even drink and drive. Yeah. Just get an Uber or a Bolt or InDrive or whatever ride-hailing companies is that is preferable to you, as opposed to drinking and driving.
Do they work in the night? I'm
yes,
I'm a bit skeptical.
Oh, exactly. So that's another thing.
You
want to even turn
when you're going out in the night. I don't think. First of all, I don't think I would feel safe taking an Uber at that time.
Yeah, someone you don't know, it's a stranger.
So, if you have no other choice,
don't go out alone. That's another thing.
Yes, don't go out alone.
Try as much as possible to go with a group of people, right?
Yeah.
And then, if you're even going to go, if you're going to use the ride-hailing service, like you rightly said, you can share your live location with people. Share your location. I think these apps now allow you to share your rides.
That's all of them.
Just so that if anything happens, people know your last where you were, and also please, as much as some people like to do coded movements, please find one trusted person to tell where you're going, especially those the babes. Be very, very careful, be vigilant about what's going on. Your drink, I hear that's something that is happening now. Spiked drinks, drink. Please, if you leave a place and you leave that cup there and you go out and come back, please don't drink from it anymore. Request for another cup. And because crazy things are happening, drink from a fresh cup at all times.
Or carry the glass with you.
Exactly, or carry the glass with you, even if you're going to the bathroom. That's also very, very important. But then, let's open our phone lines, and we cannot wait to hear from you. So our phone line is now open. Please call us on 0702 500749. The number to call is 0702 007749. Joel, let me ask you very quickly.
Yes, please.
Where were you? December last year? Were you in Lagos?
December last year, no.
You were not? Okay, but what was it like for you?
It was good. I spent it with family. Family is, for me, is the whole of my December. The whole of my December belongs to family and then loved ones. And I don't go out as much, because I have this phobia. I'm very terrified of anything happening to me in December. Because I always say, it's very weird, but I always say, oh, Father, if anything is to happen to me in this life, it should not be December. When everybody's happy and then my family is sad. No. So I'm extra careful December. If you invite me for things, I always like to be in situations I can control. Anything that is very, very much out of my control and I feel like, okay, I really don't know what's going on here, I try to stay out of it, So, but most times, again, I spend December just thinking about the whole year, just chilling, really, drinking, chilling, all that. Then I when you were talking about safety measures, I remembered something. When I was growing up, I remember that when families are traveling, they used to split families. You remember, and then they say the two kids go with grandma, or one kid goes with, just so that if anything, the whole family. Exactly. So I don't know if people want to. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think so.
I think my father says that, and I look at him weird.
Why?
Because my friend in school,
you need to have some survival.
Yeah, my friend in school, in secondary school, he's the only person that's, I mean, his whole family, they all died on Christmas Day. They were traveling. He had measles or something. So he was in late, he was the only one.
You know, since I was a child, my father will never
put everybody together.
In and out of this country. Everybody travels together. Never. You all can't get on the same trip at the same time. Is that he lets my mom maybe go with us, and then he joins us, or he goes first with somebody. No, everybody can't be on a trip at the same time. And anytime he says it, I'm like, oh, why? Isn't it fun for all of us to actually travel together? I never understood it, right? But I think now that you've said it again, now that I'm thinking about, especially with the rate of insecurity that we have right now, I think I actually understand it better now. I think another area we haven't touched is in terms of shopping. So if you're like me, that enjoys going to Balogun, and I'm like Mary, I don't like online shopping, because every time I'm very unlucky with online
me
shopping. Every time I order something, it's always what I ordered. So no matter where it is that I shop from, when it comes, it's never my size. Is it that too big or too small, or it just doesn't look fit, or it doesn't look like what it looks like? Do you get?
I think I'm also getting comfortable with the fact that you might always have to fit your clothes to your standard size. So because I've noticed that there are just some people that the clothes just seem so fitted, and I'm just like, and my friend told me, babe, I have like heap of new clothes that I buy, as in when I'm ready, I'll take it for them to fit. Because some, with like a shirt like this, it will have an extra fit, and I'm saying, but I ordered a size small, like, so yeah, I'm getting comfortable with the fact that I would always have to fit my clothes to my size, and then with the different brands over time you would know. So like sometimes I look at texture as well. Like if I'm ordering from like Zara, I would look at the texture of the material and see, is this something that's okay, can pass through? Should I order a bigger size? Because it's always safe to order a bigger size than a smaller size. So then because you can always adjust to it and stuff. So I just manage myself. I still have clothes from Zephans that I bought last Christmas that I've not been able to adjust.
Let me not talk about
that.
That
came and it's too big.
Do you know that it's either, like I said, let me not talk about that brand, because that brand annoys me a whole lot, which is why in most cases now, do you know what I do? More than half of my clothes now are made. Because I just realized that it's either they're not making clothes for curvy girls like me, or they feel like if you're curvy, then you're probably pear-shaped, so you're probably small up, and in my case, that's not what it is. So when I go and then I want to buy those, or I order those clothes, they come, true, they're size 14. But then in size 14, the up is not my size. It's too small. Maybe the boobs area is too small. Or maybe like the hip is not my size, or the waist is way too big. And I'm just like,
It's absolutely ridiculous.
So in most cases, I'd rather go to the market and find, although now that's another problem, because even in the market now, you don't want to see the things that are in Balogun. It's like they're not making decent clothes anymore. At all. That's why I started making my clothes, because I was looking for a dress to wear for a wedding, and for the life of me, I checked everywhere, and I was seeing all this Amaka dress, Nilo dress, they were ridiculously expensive, and I'm like, it just doesn't make sense for a dress that I just want to wear for this wedding. And I said, let's go to the market, and that was the biggest mistake I made. I said, no jokes, when I was telling my friend, she did not understand. I was in that market for 3 hours, and believe me, I didn't find one thing to buy. I had to settle for one dress that was, anyway, that's not the bone of content. What brought me to this market talk is, so if you might not even be close to your shop, you're probably going to shop for gift items for people, it could be anything that could take you to the open markets. Please be very vigilant. We used to hear then that they use razor blades to tear bags and all those things. It's not a lie. They actually pick. This one I'm telling you about, do you know, one woman had to alert me and tell me to remove my phone from my pocket. That one guy had been following me from behind, because she was behind the guy. So she walked up to me, and she made sure that the guy didn't know she was trying to speak to me. And as soon as she was like, keep your phone, that guy don't they follow you since. And I'm like, what? I freaked out, and that was my cue. So I'm like, wait, what am I looking for in this market? Please let me just go home before it becomes another story. Do you get? So please, if you're going shopping, very vigilant. Jola took a story this evening about the ATM cards.
Yeah.
I know we're going to be doing a whole lot of
especially in the market.
Please, all these POS points that we go to use our cards as well. Let's also be very, very vigilant and careful. When you're putting in your PIN, make sure that you're very discreet about it.
Yeah.
Make sure that you are going through the receipts, because that's another thing.
I make sure that you only do POS with people that will give you receipts. That's very key. Because if you don't have a receipt, there's nothing for you to say. You can't prove anything. So some of them will tell you, oh, I ran out of paper, please move along, find another person. And make sure, please, some of them, when they use, I don't know, there's some POS machines that when they put the amount, you know, you don't see it. And then they give you to put your PIN. Never. One woman did it for me at Yaba.
Wow.
3,000 became 30,000. Yeah. I'm telling you.
You have too many experiences.
Oh no, when I'm being extra careful.
I can't blame
and
you.
Because I don't get SMS notification.
So you won't even be able to tell. You see, that's why SMS notification is important.
I went to the market. Luckily, the guy I bought something from, he's my very good customer. The guy left his shop. He said, this woman wants to embarrass me. Because he was the one who went to call her.
Oh.
You want to embarrass me, madam? What kind of mistake would make you press extra? Okay, so when you saw it, at least you
Do you know the one that happened to me?
Which one?
I pressed the less amount. And I was like, this was going to be like 200 kilos, 300 kilos. I said, thank you.
Thank you.
Like you should be thanking
yes,
him actually, because not many people
will
come
do
back
that.
to do that.
And then always count the money they give you.
Even when you collect money from the ATM.
Things are happening. Yes.
I used to think that thing was overrated before. I kid you not. When you collect money from the ATM, please
sometimes
count
it's not complete.
the money.
So some ATMs allow you to do 20,000. There was a woman that was before me one day, and I just noticed that she was just screaming. And you know, usually when you see things like that, you're always like, oh, what's wrong with people? Like trying to just create unnecessary. But she was just screaming. And she was like, what is this? Are you trying to turn me into a mad person? I'm counting. I'm like, madam, what is happening? So some guy told her, okay, you know what, let me try it. And then the guy, 17,000. How? From 10. And that's the thing, a lot of people don't count.
Yeah, because like
a lot of people don't count. And so I don't know why we have to make everything so corrupt.
To check and balance everything. Check and balance every single thing. You can't take anything for granted.
It's sad.
Another area I wanted us to touch on is I wanted to, you know, pick your heads on this, or rather pick your brains on this. Self-defense, right? What do you think about things like the pocket knife, things like the pepper spray?
I'm afraid because we live in Nigeria. If police catch you with pocket knife, they can turn it into something else. But again, I mean, these things are there to help you defend yourself. We all know how porous Lagos is. I mean, especially now, somebody walks too close, somebody tries to be overly smart with you and all that. At least maybe not pocket knife because you can even enjoy yourself, but at least pepper spray.
You won't be scared to use pepper spray on somebody?
No.
What if it turns around and they use pepper spray on you?
How can they use it? Me, I will use the pepper spray and run away now.
And run away to where?
Wherever. I can run.
Do you know, I've always wondered, because I have never had to carry any of those things before, right? But maybe again, because of these wild imaginations I have in my head, I'm like, maybe someone's trying to attack me and then I have a pepper spray in my bag. And the person is trying to find what's in my bag. The person opens my bag and brings out the pepper spray. They use it on me before I'm able to use it on the person.
How would the person use it?
Is that not me setting?
The person collects it from you?
Your bag. Isn't it going to be in your bag?
Okay, so I feel that sometimes if we're sensitive enough, we have the first hints of danger. I feel so. So I'll give you an example. If I'm walking home, if I have a pepper spray, if I'm walking home, maybe there's just some please, I feel uncomfortable, or I feel, oh, what I would do is I'll take out my pepper spray out of my bag and I'll put it in my pocket, or I'll hold it. Because I feel that, okay, if anything was to happen to me, it would probably happen in this, within this space and all that. Okay, at least I have something that I can use to defend myself. So that's what is in my head. Okay, is in my hand, and then I run, or at least But again, I mean, I don't know. I won't. Not many shops carry it in Nigeria, so it's not even something that you can readily buy.
Available, yeah.
Yeah, and me, I'm always very afraid of Nigerian police, honestly, because it can become a big issue.
Yeah.
Just having it alone.
Yeah, and I was gonna even say that another tip would be to have your car papers complete at this period. So that if they're stopping you,
give them any reason.
You know that is out of your goodwill that you want to give them something.
Yeah,
but when
That's
they
true.
find something wrong with you, wrong in you faulting in something, they would ride on that.
I'm really thankful for mentioning that, because my roadworthiness is expired.
And even
always and it's almost 1 year now. I've renewed the papers. The problem is this carrying the car for inspection.
Yes.
I don't understand. It's in Oshodi.
No, I hear there's one. My never told me that there's one.
I don't know why. Maybe the one you start with, that's where you need to go. I don't know how to do the transfer. And it really bugs me, because usually my papers are always complete. That was how my mom taught me that. As
you don't have someone that can do it for you.
I've done it. You need to carry car for inspection. It's that inspection that is the problem.
And guess what? The longer it is that you stay without it, the more.
The last time I paid 60k now. Maybe as it's getting to 1 year now, maybe I just wait for the next year so that it will be 120k. I beg, I'm tired. But yeah, please try and get your correct car papers so that you're not explaining anything. The confidence I have when they stop me, because I'm always driving at night, and the first thing they ask is license. I'm already giving attitude, like, okay, here's the license. And for the license, my mom taught me something, which is I carry a photocopy around.
Never
so
give
I
them
don't give them the
original
card. So I just go into my glove compartment, pull up the photocopy paper, look at it, you can see that it is. And they're like, okay, anything for us, nothing for you. Bye.
And then please always go out with an ID card. Very important.
I agree. That's actually very important. Always go. See how we're dishing out all these tips. I hope you have your pen and paper and you're jotting something down. Mary has told you, have your evidence so that you don't need to shalaye so much. When they stop you and they ask you for those things, just show it to them so that they have no reason whatsoever to keep you back, and then you are justified. If they keep you back, you're justified, right? If anybody asks any questions, you're like, I don't understand why I'm held down here, yeah? Okay, so we're talking about self-defense, we don't talk about eating. See, it's very important too. Because I know people, things like food poisoning, to be honest. If you know that you have a very sensitive tummy, don't go about eating just anywhere. Maybe you're laughing, but it's funny. I don't just want to share this experience. But it's not even just food poisoning. Diarrhea is a real thing, and it can. If you have diarrhea, trust me, your entire holiday is ruined. Because imagine you being very pressed because you've eaten the wrong thing. You don't want to go about looking for a toilet where you should actually be enjoying yourself. It's not going to be funny at all, or stuck in your house taking Imodium when you should be out there partying and enjoying yourself.
This experience has really hooked.
It has though. Best believe that it has, and I'm speaking from the bottom of my heart. So when you eat carefully, I don't know why we have.
Overeating is a big problem. Don't overeat. Everything you see, eat rice in the morning, pepper soup in the afternoon, cake, everything. Calm down. The food is not. You're not going to die if you don't finish it on Christmas period. I understand that you're trying to show that you have, variety, but please eat in moderation. It's very important. When I come in January and be planning how you are going to do a liposuction. After I finish eating all the...
What kind of shots are you firing? What kind of shots are you firing like this now?
It's the truth now. New year now. Is everybody's go
to the gym now.
I'm going to the... Yeah, the people going to the gym, or some of them have at the back of the mind that surgery is the way, but let's put up the front that is gym. So in order to just be on the safe side.
If Mary Shot is fired at you, I'm sorry.
If in moderation.
I'm sorry, please just forgive her. If this shot she's firing is hitting you in one way or the other, maybe don't hold it against us on this show. Thanks and God bless.
Mary.
That being said, I mean, so we've given you
a lot of tips.
Whole lot of tips on what safety measures, even the ones that seem like a joke.
Yeah.
Trust me, it could actually go a long way. But then before we go, any final words, ladies? Any final thoughts?
Just for me, I would say that you owe it to yourself. I mean, to keep yourself safe.
Yeah.
First and foremost, and you can't take anything for granted. You can't assume as well. You have to deliberately, consciously, intentionally, think safety. So.
Oh, okay. I think we have a caller.
Oh.
Yeah. Hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, this is Loma from Abia State.
Good evening, Loma. Nice to hear from you.
Very by what you quickly just put up on the screen.
Yes.
The safety measure. Let me just tell you. Okay, let's ask ourselves, why is it that every year road safety will line up themselves on the highway, so we still have accidents here and there? Because number one, they don't take the right thing. Once you give them money, if your tire not good, they will allow you to pass. They will collect, you don't give them a good day and they will allow you to pass. Thereby they don't take those things that they're supposed to take. If we are to make sure this festive season that people will drive home safely, let that name, road safety, live up to its name. Because for the time I'm watching them, over even this time, even when I'm traveling, you see that they don't do what they're supposed to do anyway. They will just wave you, carry one big stick, wave you down, they get you. They will not look if everything in your vehicle is normal or they will just straight up your hand, collect of you, and allow you to go. At the end of the day, you will see somebody with a bad tire, the gear is not normal. So at the end of the day, you still have to get an accident. So I beg our road safety, let them make sure that this festive season they reduce the carnage on our way. It is too much. A lot of people are going through accidents. So let the road safety do their own. And let drivers do their own. Some drivers are so reckless. Let them do their own. Do your bit, let government do their bit. You will see things will be normal. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Loman. Very well said. So it just also ties to what Mary also said, right? Just make sure that everything is okay. And then he has even warned the road safety people, please, people should have mercy. Loman said they carry big stick on the road.
Well, if the road is bad, even if your tires is 100% original, a bad road will still damage your
and even make sure that even reminds me of something. Make sure that your car is actually in good condition, or whatever vehicle it is you're going to be traveling with your vehicle. Make sure that it is in good condition. Check everything before you get on the go. Spare time. Very true. Even all those things, the caution signs, and also that even if anything happens on the road, right?
Yes,
you know that there's something to actually to prevent collision of vehicles and things like that as well. There's one thing very important thing I was going to say, and now I've lost that train of thought actually. Anyway, I'm sure that we've given you very, very helpful tips on how to stay safe during the festive period. But then before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagram at Wayshow Africa. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and most importantly, follow all our social media engagement. Remember to like, share, comment, and invite your friends and family to watch us and follow us. Thank you so much, Diola. Thank you, Mary. It was great having you ladies on the show tonight. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to sit at this table again till the end of the year. I mean, us together like this is what I mean, not we show. But then if you missed today's quote, here it is again. If you must travel this season, travel light. See you tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen.
This is it for upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Bookie November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's tea time on Plus TV Africa.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
My name is Olamide Onifade. I am a real estate lawyer, and today I'm going to be giving you a tip about buying a property, and it's going to be centered on location, location, location. Buying a property is a massive commitment, and it's important that you consider some key factors to ensure you are getting your money's worth. Fundamental on your checklist should be the location of your property. It is the biggest influence on your quality of life, job opportunities, ease of travel, and the value of your property. While a good location might be influenced by your personal preferences and lifestyle, there are some objective qualities every good location should possess. First on the list should be accessibility when considering a good location. That is, how close is the property to good transport facilities, your daily commutes to work, and your children's school if you have children who are of school age. Second on the list is the availability of local amenities. This includes a good local hospital, shops, grocery stores, electricity, and maybe internet services. And third should be the appearance of your neighborhood. You should watch out for the environmental conditions of the neighborhood. Sanitation and maintenance culture of the inhabitants is also very important. This will give you an insight to who your neighbors are going to be. It is important that the crime rate of the neighborhood is also thoroughly researched. Qualities of a bad location can be when there are too many houses on sale, closeness to busy highways, airports, and train tracks. It is also advisable that you avoid locations that lean towards industrial use, such as petrol stations, religious houses, and industrial plants. Remember that you can change your house, but you can't change your neighborhood.
makes me feel good. So does food, actually. I like my food. Peppered snails. I have a very spicy tongue. I have a friend that likes shopping. She calls it therapy. She gets her knickers in the bunch and says, Dion, let's go therapy. I need shopping. And she buys things she doesn't need at all that we have to give back in 2 weeks. That completely phases me. Welcome to the TW Conversations Lounge. When we come back, me and my lovely sisters and a nice lady here will tell us if therapy is frivolous or really needful. Be right back. Welcome back to the lounge. We have with us today a psychotherapist. Can I call you that?
No, you can't.
No, if you say psychiatrist, people think that it's just mad people.
It's true.
So psychotherapy is sexier. So she's a psychotherapist. She just makes a big problem really small. Here in the lounge with us is Dr. Maimuna Kadiri. She's going to maybe give us some perspective on what we think may be a frivolity. Now, therapy, my sisters, some people say it's frivolous. Like spa therapy. I go to the spa every couple of months, have a massage, get my pores open,
Do you go to
get my
spas and
groove on.
massage?
I don't mind. They don't have here, but I wouldn't mind. It wouldn't make
I don't put it beyond Dion.
It wouldn't make a difference, though, because they're very clinical. It's a job to them. So they could be as hunky as the nice Spanish Latino guy, but nothing happens. So, let's get back to the subject, young ladies.
Sorry,
I
darling.
go to the spa to get my therapy. It helps me distress so that I don't get really crazy. But like I said earlier on, I have a friend that shops. She will buy things she doesn't need, then return them in 2 weeks, just to feel good. So that's why people think therapy is a frivolity. What do you guys think? Adiswa?
Okay, well, the truth is, I think it depends on context. But I wouldn't mind to begin. I want to hear what this woman has to say, because this is the one that is telling people. I mean, because first of all, why therapy? And what is therapy? Because what I call therapy might not really be therapy, might just be free. I don't know.
Just a feel-good thing, yes. But what do you think, though?
For shopping?
Yeah.
The truth is, this is it. The truth is, she goes shopping because she's dealing with a particular issue. Maybe she's sad at that point in time, or she's angry, or there's one emotion that is making her feel the way she feels. And then she returns them in 2 weeks' time. Not everything may be returned, not everything may be in shape. The truth is that this is going to be a vicious circle of, I'm angry, I go shopping, I spend money that...
So you say it doesn't help at all?
It's not. It's not. It's a short-time feel-good thing, but on the long run, it's not. She must look for the reason. If you eat as a therapy and you grow fat and you don't like being fat, so those evoke another problem. That evoke other negative feelings, emotions, and then you're like angry why you've grown fat and why you need to now go to the gym and jump on a treadmill and then get a personal trainer and pay more money. So those are short-term therapy. They are stopgap. They are not really sustainable.
See, I know, you're just copying me. Are you my lead? I put my leg, you put your leg.
What do you do when you
I put my legs down.
What do you do when you want to distress? You're a mother of 2 young babies, so
take for example,
a quiet
you
place.
didn't sleep last night.
I go to a quiet place. As in, for me right now, maybe it's a phase I'm in, but for me right now, just being on my own and knowing I don't have responsibilities or nobody's crying and knocking on my door, mama, or something, I don't know, just being on my own and watching a movie and just knowing that I'm responsible for nothing for those hours, I think that for me is therapy. Meditation. That means you went through some meditation?
Yeah, so you see, I didn't
quiet
that
time,
context,
yes, meditation, yes, quiet
What do you
time.
do when you want to
I
distress?
think therapy for me is what helps me to get balance back.
Okay.
And I don't think it's frivolity at all.
Is your gymming therapy? Because I know this girl...
Gymming is therapy. It's finding out what gives you the balance. And that's why I don't think it's frivolity at all. I think the biggest problem is accepting the fact that we might need an intervention.
Okay.
It is that intervention.
I like that word, intervention. Yes.
It should be intervention.
I think she's